If your Twixtor looks like this, congratulations, you just turned the fight scene into a PowerPoint slideshow. Bro, even that bitch ass coach animates smoother than that.
Woke up, I look at the computer say,
Bro, even that bitch ass coach animates smoother than that.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
Problem, you're abusing Twixtor. Listen, Twixtor isn't magic. It doesn't take your mid-edit and make it godlike. Using Twixtor without a plan is like throwing glitter on garbage. It still stinks, just sparkly now. But why am I making this video? So I was scrolling through my DMs the other night and I realized half of y'all are asking the same damn question. Bro, how do you make your edits look so smooth? What Twixtor settings do you use? Why does my edit look like it's buttering a wannabe Wi-Fi? So I looked at my 7k followers and I was like, damn, that's 7,000 potential customers, future editors, or victims of my monetization plan. But nah, I'm making this video because I keep seeing y'all doing unspeakable things to Twixtor. Like bro, your slow-mo got more glitches than Cyberpunk on launch day. One dude slowed the scene down so hard, I thought my PC broke. I restarted it twice. Respectfully, stop. But also, I genuinely want you to win. Because I've been there, thinking I'm the next AMD king. When in reality, my edit looked like it was animated by my cousin starting to use paint, bro. So this is me giving back. Alright, so here's how I handle slow-mo. Step 1. Just slap the Twixtor on it and pray, bro. Nah, I'm kidding. Sync to the beat, match the vibe, and use frame blending. So let's take a real edit. Scene A, raw. And scene B, Zeragon Twixtor.
Yeah, what is grim for the lost human skim through? At the cost in his name, I in you.
Notice the difference? Yeah, that's because it's my head. Okay, I'm playing too much. Okay, so how do we take this scene and make it look like a normal edit? Okay, let me show you. First of all, this clip is in another resolution, so I'm going to change the composition settings. Make sure to use the frame rate 23.976. That's the frame rate most of the anime clips are normally using, so when you have that frame rate, it's always easier to Twixtor. We got this clip. It looks pretty fine to me. I like it without even using Twixtor, but you can enhance some things. We're going to use the slow-mo clips where they're in the sky for God knows how long, like the typical Asian martial arts movie. And then we got this clip. It is pretty cool. It's slow in here. There's a little pause in this scene where the frames really look alike. First we got the sound.
Yeah, what is grim for the lost human skim through? At the cost in his name, I in you.
So we're going to go into the composition. This is the raw clip, and I am going to cut out every frame that's basically slow with the subject in the foreground. So when the background is moving but the subject is not moving the frame, I'm not cutting it. So you can see the slow-mo here. So I'm gonna cut here, I'm gonna cut here, I'm gonna cut here, there, and so on. There isn't a slow-mo anymore, so I'm not cutting here. The Twixtor will be too warpy. I can maybe cut here for 2 frames, doesn't matter that much. Then the frames are too far gone, so I'll start to cut here again. Okay, so we got those scenes cutted. The slow-mo is on that part. There it's normal again. The slow-mo is again here. I don't know if I should have cut that part. You can still do it when you are changing the keyframes later on, so it doesn't really matter. Basically here is the second part, here's the third part, and that's the last part where we are going to Twixtor. I'm gonna take those that are cutted and stretch them to the left side, so they are 1 frame long. We are going to do it for the other clips. There. Also there. I'm going to hold shift, click the first clip from below, go way up, right click, go to keyframe assistance, sequence layers, and overlap shouldn't be on, it should be clicked off, and click on OK. There are no dead frames when you can see the slow-mo. That's what we wanted, so we can make the Twixtor look smooth, not chopped like chop up. I'm going to pre-compose those scenes, give it Twixtor. I don't know why I have this preset, because there's nothing in it beside this motion blur compensation. I always turn it off because I accidentally did that one time while I did my preset. And basically many people do all that shit like changing the frame rate, doing image prep. I don't know, I never do this. That's a scam, bro. Fuck it. Only thing I'm doing most of the time is making to motion weighted blend. Inverse is alright. So I'm gonna put Twixtor on all those scenes that are slow-mo. And now it looks like this. Pretty smooth, pretty smooth. Now, the most important part, time remap. Let me show you. As you can see, now that we have pre-composed the cut clips where the slow-mo is, you can see black frames because those clips are ending on the Twixtor. When you put Twixtor on one comp and the next frame doesn't have Twixtor, usually you put it in a pre-comp and you stretch it, it will give you that black frame. There it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our time remap, stretch it back exactly like that, and give the keyframes some time to expand. So why do I put another keyframe on there? It could be the thing that when I am doing the time remap and I will have a graph like this, sometimes it happens that you can still see the fade in of the black frame. That's not what we want. So I'm doing another keyframe after the black frame, which I can then change on later with time remap. So as you can see, there's still some crazy warps, but when I go to the graph, it's just too small for you to handle, so I usually cut it right there where those two frames are. Delete the other keyframes, so you can only have those two. Get the fuck out of here. So you can only have those two and change the graph way better. And if it still doesn't work and it looks like trash, go to the comp, then go to the Twixtor where you slow mode it, and you can change those settings now from frame interpolation, motion weighted blend to nearest, and warping to forward. Trust me. It looks immediately different because you can see the warp, but sometimes if you change the frame, it can be pretty fast. But yeah, it's kind of warping. You see his shoe? Yeah, that's why we're gonna adjust the keyframes.
What is grand for the laws for the laws, human. Laws, human skim through. Skim through. What is grand for the laws, human skim through.
Okay, we have those clips now. And the moments where the slow-mo Twixtor is coming, I like to put on RCB.
For the laws, human skin. The cause.
So those frames are pretty similar, so I'm going to cut it right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. Cut out the dead frames on the Twixtor side. Take every clip from bottom to top. Right click, keyframe assist, sequence layer. Okay, now we got those sequences. Pretty cool. I'm going to change the compositing settings so we can still work with the camera movement later on. I'm taking those scenes, pre-comp, Twixtor, turn that shit off, whatever this is. And let me do the time remap again.
The cause in his name.
Cutting that again, make sure to delete the other keyframes, and then you can go and detail out the curves. And if you see warp in between, you can still put keyframes between the graph and change a little bit of it.
In you.
And if those particles are annoying you, that it is warping, you can still change the frame interpolation and the warping to nearest, make it look better by changing the keyframes on the curve. Okay, same thing, RSB. So now we got those raw scenes.
Yeah, what is grand for the laws, human skim through. At the cause in his name, I in you.
Okay, so after doing camera movement, SFX and everything else, this is how it should look like.
Yeah, what is grand for the laws, human skim through. At the cause in his name, I in you.
So yeah, that's the sauce that they don't teach you in top 5 editing tips videos. So if you're still using Twixtor like a filter, bro, we can't be friends anymore. Either put it on or don't. It's that simple. Learn the game, respect the timeline, don't embarrass yourself. Follow for more editing truths your favorite YouTuber is too scared to say.